Top 10 ways to boost your credit score fast. Share actionable steps viewers can take to improve their credit scores quickly. One important aspect of your financial life is your credit score. A high credit score is necessary if you want a good rewards credit card. You must have a high credit score in order to qualify for a low mortgage interest rate. A high credit score can also be helpful in less obvious situations, such as when applying for auto insurance or a new cell phone. Is it realistic to raise your score by 100 points? Although establishing credit can take time, there are a few actions you can do to raise your score. Number 10. Pay credit card balances strategically. Your credit utilization is the percentage of your credit limits that you are currently using. Use no more than 30% of your credit limit on any card. Lower is preferable as a general rule. The credit utilization of the top scorers is typically in the single digits. Because your score is determined by the amount of credit that your card issuer reports to the credit bureaus, you want to make sure that your balance is low. Paying off the balance before the billing cycle ends or making multiple payments throughout the month will help you maintain a low balance. This is an easy way to accomplish that. The largest factor influencing your credit score is usually timely payments. Your credit utilization is typically the second biggest factor. You can program your calendar to remind you to log in and pay. Additionally, you might be able to set up alerts on your credit card accounts to notify you when your balance approaches a certain amount. When your credit card issuer notifies the credit bureaus of a reduced balance, your score will be computed using that reduced utilization. Number 9. Ask for higher credit limits. An increase in your credit limit along with a constant balance immediately reduces your total credit utilization, which can help you build credit. You stand a good chance of obtaining a higher limit if your income has increased or if you have more years of excellent credit history. Prior to submitting this request, make a plan for maintaining consistent spending patterns and avoiding utilizing all of the additional credit. This may not be the best course of action for you if the temptation to push those higher limits is strong. Due to the fact that credit scores are heavily influenced by utilization, its effect is profound. Get in touch with your credit card issuer to inquire about raising your limit. Try to prevent a hard credit inquiry, which has the potential to momentarily lower your score by a few points. As long as you don't use up the additional room on the card, the higher limit will reduce your overall credit utilization once it is reported to the credit bureaus. Number 8. Become an authorized user. Ask to be added as an authorized user if a friend or relative has a credit card account with a high credit limit and a solid payment history. For your credit to improve, the account holder does not even need to provide you with the account number or permission to use the card. To maximize the impact, make sure the account reports to each of the 3 major credit bureaus. Most credit cards do. Possibly high, particularly if you have a thin credit file and are a credit novice. For people with established credit who are attempting to make up for mistakes or lower their credit utilization, the effect will be less severe. It is necessary to speak with the account holder you are requesting this favor from and come to an agreement on whether you will be listed as an authorized user only or have access to the card and account. Your profile can be enhanced by the credit account as soon as it is added to you and reports to the credit bureaus. Number 7. Pay bills on time. If you make late payments, no credit improvement plan will work. Even worse, missing payments may remain for 7 years on your credit records. Give the creditor a call right away if you are 30 days or more behind on a payment. Make your payment as soon as you can and inquire as to whether the creditor will think about not informing the credit bureaus about the late payment. It's worthwhile to bring the account current as soon as possible, even if the creditor won't allow it. Your score is impacted each month an account is reported delinquent. It has a very significant influence. In both the FICO and Vantage Score credit scoring systems, your track record of on-time bill payment is the biggest scoring factor. Establish account reminders to avoid missing payments and think about setting up automatic payments to cover the minimum. Depending on how many and how recently you have missed payments, work time varies. The amount of time a payment was overdue minus 30, 60, 90, or more days also matters. Thankfully, the effect of late payments lessens with time, and expanding your collection of good credit accounts can hasten this process. Number 6. Dispute credit report errors. It's possible that an error on one of your credit reports is lowering your score. You can rapidly raise your credit score by disputing inaccuracies on your credit report. Every week, you are entitled to complimentary reports from all 3 of the major credit bureaus. To verify for errors such as payments that were reported as late even though you made them on time, credit activity from another person combined with yours or outdated negative information, use annualcreditreport.com to obtain your reports. Once you've located them, dispute inaccuracies in your credit report. Impact varies, but if a creditor claims you missed a payment when you actually didn't, it might have a significant effect. Requesting and reading your free credit reports, disputing errors, and keeping track of the follow-up all take time. However, the procedure is beneficial, particularly if you're attempting to establish credit in advance of a significant event like applying for a big loan. Make sure to resolve disputes well in advance of applying for a mortgage. 30 to 45 days are given to the credit bureaus to look into and reply. Be cautious when dealing with companies that offer to dispute errors and quickly improve your credit. Number 5. Deal with collections accounts. When you pay off a collections account, you can also convince the collection agency to stop reporting the debt, removing the possibility that you will be sued for the amount owed. If a collection account is too old or inaccurate to be listed on your credit report, you can also have it removed. If the collector consents to stop reporting the account, it could be very beneficial because an account in collections is a significant black mark on your credit report. The impact on your score will vary depending on the scoring model that was applied if the collector continues to report the account. You must obtain and study your credit reports, after which you must devise a strategy for resolving any listed accounts that are in collections. It might function fairly quickly. As soon as the paid-off status is reported to credit bureaus, it can raise your scores on credit scores that don't account for paid collections, like Vantage Score and more recent ICOs. In other situations, the procedure might take several months, like contesting a collection account or requesting a goodwill deletion. Number 4. Use a secured credit card. Using a secured credit card is an additional strategy to establish or repair your credit. The security of this kind of card is a cash deposit. The deposit amount is typically the same as your credit limit and you pay it up front. After that, you make regular payments on it as you would any other credit card, and this helps you establish credit. If you're looking for a way to add more positive credit history and lessen past mistakes, this is probably going to be helpful to someone who is new to credit and has accounts or someone who has damaged credit. Seek for a secured credit card that notifies the 3 main credit bureaus of your credit activity. You might also think about researching credit cards that aren't secured by a security deposit. It could take a few months. Although getting another card can raise your score a little bit by increasing your credit depth, which is not the main objective here. Instead, you want to establish a track record of timely payments and low balance. Number 3. Get credit for rent and utility payments. Your timely rent payments may be added to your credit reports by rent reporting services. Not all scoring models take rent payments into account. They are included in Vantage scores, but not in FICO 8. Once bank accounts are linked to the free Boost service, it searches for payments made to eligible renters, phone and utility bills, streaming service providers, and other bills. Which payments are included in your Experian credit report is up to you to decide. After the initial setup, no more time is required. It boosts instantly, but like other rent reporting services, its rent reporting feature varies depending on the customer's past. For instance, some services provide an instant view of the previous 2 years' worth of payments. In the absence of that, compiling a history of on-time payments may take several months. Number 2. Add to your credit mix. Your credit may benefit from having another well-maintained credit account, especially if it's a new kind of credit. If all you have are credit cards, you might want to look into getting a low-cost credit builder loan. Verify that the loan that you are thinking about applying for has reports to the 3 credit bureaus. Getting a new credit card could be beneficial if all you have are loans or few credit cards. By making more credit available, it can lower your total credit utilization in addition to enhancing your credit mix. Someone who only has credit cards is most likely to benefit from opening a loan account. Additionally, those with a short credit history or few accounts stand to benefit more. Think about if the time you spend looking into providers and submitting your application will increase your score or not. If you're getting a loan or credit card just to raise your credit score, consider the interest and other costs you might incur. The new account can begin to work in your favor as soon as the activity is reported to the credit bureaus. Number 1. Make timely payments. With a weighting of 35%, your payment history is the most significant factor affecting your credit score. You won't incur late fees and your account will stay in good standing even if you are only able to make the minimum payment. These are a few significant actions that can raise credit score. Please click the like and subscribe buttons to get more engaging videos.